So, a relative of mine just recently gifted me her old analog film camera. So in this video I'm for the very first time going to try out some analog photography. I'm going to take you along on the ride, show you how it's like, and hopefully all the new things that I have learned. Because I'm pretty sure shooting with an analog camera is a completely different experience and could be a very, very good photography teacher. So, in this video I'm going to test this film camera in diverse situations, and I'm also going to take the same images with a digital camera and try to make it look like a film image in post. Everyone is always asking the same question: can the film look really not be replicated? Well, I guess we're going to find out soon enough. So, as you probably already guessed, the first thing I'm going to try and take some photos of is chess. This is actually an idea that I've had for a very, very long time, but I always sort of felt like, well, it needs something more to it. Just the image that I have in my head on its own is not really good enough. But now, if I do this with the analog camera, I think that's going to fit the mood perfectly and hopefully give the image a little bit more character. Alright, my very first analog image. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's not taking the image, it's not working. I don't understand. I can't even press the shutter button down right now. Come on! Why is this not working? Oh, it took it. No! No! It just randomly... Now, I don't know why this doesn't work, but I did eventually figure out that when I use the self-timer, it seems to work just fine. And so with my first image taken, it was time to move on to the outdoors.
Also wirklich, sag's dir mal so. Was du sicher immer musst schauen, wenn du aufziehst im nächsten Bild, und dann löst nicht aus, du lieber da noch ein bisschen drücken, weil es kann sein, dass zum Beispiel schon nur ein Klick, der nicht ganz bis einen Anschlag aufgezogen ist, dass das schon einen Unterschied macht. Von dem her probier das. Ja. Ja.
Danke vielmals.
Gerne. Und schönen Tag.
Okay. So apparently there's nothing that can be done about the camera not working, so we are just going to have to try and see how many times it works, how many times it doesn't. I'm just going to test it real quick now with my sister. Okay, so it seems to be working now. Let's hope that it will continue working as we try more different pictures. So we just arrived on our holidays here in America, and there is this abundant piano here in front of an incredibly colorful house. So I am going to try to take a picture with my film camera, and to do that there is this app that I found called Light Meter. So I can basically check the settings that I need on my phone like this, and then just set it on my camera and then hope that it's going to work this time. Wirklich. What's happening to this silly camera?
How it will work.
Alright, so I am now here at the beach, and it's fairly early in the morning, which means I have the entire beach all to myself. And I'm here, of course, again with my film camera, but we're gonna try to find some images, and hopefully this camera is actually going to work. I tried using it in the city a little bit, and every time I take my camera out it's just a complete pain, because I press the shutter about 50 times, and just one of the times it will actually take the photo. The rest of the times it just doesn't work, you can't press the shutter down. And then the one time that you do take it, it completely shocks you and you shake the camera. So I'm not sure how good these images are going to be, but it looks really nice. There's a little bit of a sun poking through the ginormous fog that we have here. But look, the entire beach just all for ourselves. Alright, so I actually already found my first image, and this is actually an image I would rather not have found because yeah, it's garbage, which sucks that this still is a problem at the beach and everywhere else too. But I think it's still a really good photo because it's going to actually tell something in the image. So let's pray that it's actually going to take the image. Nope, definitely still not taking any images. I just literally can't press the shutter button. If I would press down right now, physically would not go far down enough to actually take the image. It actually feels kind of like when you forget to rewind and you try to take a picture. That's exactly what it feels like. Okay, so I finally managed to finish just one single roll of film, and it's right here. So yeah, all of these pictures, all of the places, all of the memories are just in this tiny little thing. I mean, that's kind of a crazy thought to me, just right in this little thing here. So we are back where we started, and I will receive my images in about 1 week. Let's skip to them. So I finally have all of the images right here. So I'm gonna show you some of my favorites that you actually haven't seen yet, and then I'm going to put the analog and the digital side by side and really analyze them to answer the question once and for all. Can the film look be replicated? I know, actually you are the answer to that. Yeah, keep watching and you'll see why. So what I got in this here is actually this small thing here where all the pictures are on it in a tiny format, and actually they also gave me the negatives, which is really nice, for free. One of the favorite images that I took with this camera here is this one that you see right here of this butterfly. I actually took this in the middle of a big city. There was just this tiny little patch of greenery, and I saw the sun is perfectly setting between the buildings, so I waited there and just hoped that the butterfly will stay there and I can get this image. And I think it actually came out really well, even though I just had 2 chances. I think both of them worked quite well. Of course, there are also loads of other pictures that I took with this that I really like, but then there's also the other side, the mistakes, the images that didn't work, or I fired at the wrong time. You can see right here this milk or whatever this is. I was just trying to test the camera, but on the right side of this image you can see that for some reason the film must have sort of moved a little bit, and you can see a part of the next image overlaid onto this image. This is not edited in any ways, that's just, I guess, a mistake that happened, and I guess that just belongs to it. And sadly there are a lot more of these types of images. And comparing analog to digital as the entire experience, I feel like actually you can't even really compare these two. They're just so different. Even just the mindset, if I take this camera or compared to any other camera, the mindset is completely different. It's an entirely different experience, and for me also an entirely different goal. Talking about just the look, however, you very much so can compare it, so let's take a look at both of these chess images side by side. And I feel like I just have to say this, I'm in no way a Lightroom or an editing expert. My Lightroom knowledge is not very big. I used Photoshop sometimes, very little, but not for any of these images. This was all edited in Lightroom, so that's just something to keep in mind. But now, before you get too cocky and say that you would have guessed all of these, it was not edited very well and all of that, actually I may have fooled you, because some of the images that I put into this video, I said it was taken with the analog camera, even though it was actually taken with my digital camera. Like this image for an example. So if you realize it and you saw this image and thought, I don't know if he's telling the truth there, then I guess it's not a myth. And replicating the film look really is quite difficult. But if you didn't notice, if you just watched this video and believed me everything that I said, then I guess I fooled you. I managed to replicate the film look, at least to the extent that you didn't notice. But all in all, I actually really like the film look. Like with the chess images, I actually think I like the analog one even more. The glow is really nice and organic, and there's a little bit of this green tint in the shadows that I did manage to replicate. And also just the entire experience. I really enjoyed using this camera, even though sometimes it was incredibly frustrating when it didn't actually take the image. I guess that's just part of it. Also, if you find the other images that I labeled wrongly, please do write that in the comments or tell me. And now I guess I still have an entire free roll, so I'm going to try and fill that right now. See you next time. See you later. I don't know how to end these videos. See.